Welcome to this explainer. Today, we're going to completely flip how we look at your organization's data. Instead of seeing it as this chaotic, stressful mess of numbers, I want you to picture it as raw materials, materials just waiting to enter a highly efficient, high-tech factory. Because, let's face it, data has absolutely become one of the most valuable assets for modern businesses. But here's the catch, right? Its true value entirely depends on how effectively it's collected, integrated, and transformed into actual actionable insights. So in this explainer, we're going to explore how Microsoft's SQL Server Integration Services, or SSIS, acts as the ultimate master control for this data factory, turning complex, messy data sets into strategic decisions that drive sustainable competitive advantage. Okay, here's our roadmap for today. We're going to start with the fragmented data problem, move into the ETL integration engine, look at ensuring reliable data quality, and finally wrap up with future-proofing your business intelligence. All right, section 1, the fragmented data problem and the cost of chaos. Just look at all these distinct data sources generating information every single day. You might have sales records sitting over in SQL Server databases, customer information locked up inside CRM platforms like Salesforce, financial transactions living in specialized accounting software, and operational data just scattered across various cloud-based applications. Now, these are our raw materials, but the big problem? They currently operate completely independently. And that creates this tangled, fragmented web of information that severely limits effective decision-making. Seriously, fragmented data leaves us operating totally in the dark. It's kind of like trying to assemble a giant puzzle, but the pieces are hidden across 5 different rooms. On the flip side, unified business intelligence takes that raw data and converts it into strategic planning and operational excellence. It essentially brings all those scattered puzzle pieces onto one single table and assembles them so leaders can actually see the big picture. So the absolutely crucial point here is how you actually get from fragmented to unified. Because if your team is still trying to manually stitch all these different systems together, exporting spreadsheets that inevitably crash, copy-pasting data all day, emailing versions named final_final_v3 back and forth, they are wasting a staggering amount of time. And honestly, worse yet, that manual process is incredibly susceptible to human error. Trying to bring these diverse sources together by hand, it's just not sustainable. Let's move to section 2, the ETL engine, which is basically your automated data factory. Now, you'll hear this term a ton in data engineering, ETL. It stands for extract, transform, and load. Think of ETL as the automated assembly line that makes SQL Server Integration Services, SSIS, so incredibly powerful. It completely wipes out that manual, error-prone copying and pasting and replaces it with a smooth, automated conveyor belt. Here is exactly how that assembly line works. Step 1 is extract. SSI reaches into numerous databases, spreadsheets, XML files, and third-party apps to pull the data out. And crucially, it does this without disrupting your normal day-to-day business operations. Step 2 is transform. This is where the refining happens, right on the belt, standardizing everything. And finally, step 3 is load, where we ship all that newly cleaned information directly into enterprise data warehouses or analytical systems. Let's actually look at that transformation phase in a bit more detail, because this is where the real magic happens. Imagine you're pulling dates from 3 totally different systems. One uses month, day, year, another uses day, month, year, and a third just spells out the month completely. It's a mess. But during the transform phase, SSIS steps in. It removes duplicates, corrects those exact inconsistencies, validates the records, converts incompatible formats, and applies your specific business rules. It guarantees the data is completely trustworthy before it ever goes near a decision maker. And you know what the best part is? Developers don't necessarily have to sit there and write thousands upon thousands of lines of manual code to pull this off. SSIS gives you this highly intuitive, drag-and-drop visual environment right inside SQL Server data tools. Taking this visual approach rapidly accelerates how fast workflows can be built and makes future maintenance an absolute breeze. Plus, thanks to automated scheduling, these ETL packages just run quietly in the background on predefined schedules. Your reports are basically always completely up to date. All right, moving into section 3, reliable data quality and trustworthy information. So here is the ultimate so what of this entire process. High-quality business intelligence relies completely on reliable data. I mean, you could have the absolute most beautiful, sophisticated analytical tools in the world, but they literally cannot produce meaningful insights if the underlying information is incomplete or inaccurate. Garbage in, garbage out, right? If bad data gets into your dashboards, managers are going to make bad decisions based on a totally false reality. SSIS prevents this entirely by systematically validating records and catching errors early in the pipeline. Once SSIS guarantees that only pristine, trustworthy data is loaded into your central repository, it seamlessly feeds right into the broader Microsoft BI ecosystem. We're talking about SQL Server reporting services, analysis services, and of course, the massively popular Power BI. This ecosystem takes that beautifully clean data and turns it into interactive dashboards, executive reports, and performance scorecards. Suddenly, managers have a totally comprehensive, crystal clear view of organizational performance. But we do have to ask ourselves a vital question here. As your company grows, embraces digital transformation, and expands its footprint, the volume and complexity of your data are just going to explode. Can this SSI system actually keep up with that kind of massive scale? Which brings us to our final section, future-proofing business intelligence and adapting to scale. The reality is, modern businesses are no longer just pulling data from a couple of simple on-premises databases. No way. Today, we're managing information across cloud platforms, mobile applications, social media streams, external data providers, and even IoT devices sending minute-by-minute sensor data. Honestly, that's a volume that would have completely crashed systems just 10 years ago. But SSIS has evolved right alongside these requirements. It is an incredibly scalable, highly flexible platform that's fully capable of ingesting data from this wonderfully complex web of modern endpoints. And one of the greatest advantages here is its compatibility with both traditional and cloud infrastructures. So for organizations that are adopting hybrid environments, meaning maybe they still have some older physical servers but are moving a lot of their operations to the cloud, SSIS perfectly bridges that gap. It ensures continuous data availability, seamlessly integrating your on-premises SQL Server databases directly with Microsoft Azure and other cloud platforms. And as we look to the horizon, emerging technologies like artificial intelligence and machine learning are fundamentally expanding what business intelligence can even do. But here's the open secret. AI-driven analytics are absolutely useless without high-quality, well-structured datasets. These AI models desperately need reliable data to generate any sort of meaningful predictions or recommendations. And SSIS provides the exact reliable data foundation needed to let those advanced predictive analytics actually function properly. Ultimately, business intelligence today isn't just about how much data you have, it's all about your ability to transform that complex information into strategic insights. By automating the mundane tasks, eliminating those pesky human errors, and seamlessly integrating all your systems, SSIS significantly reduces your operational costs. But more importantly, it gives your team the incredible gift of faster, highly accurate, evidence-based decision-making. And that, for sure, is how you achieve a long-term competitive advantage in a totally data-driven world. So as we wrap up this explainer, I really want you to take a hard look at your own organization's data factory. Think about those fragmented systems you might be dealing with and those manual, error-prone processes. Ask yourself this critical question. Is your data driving your business forward, or is it holding it back? Thanks so much for exploring the power of SQL Server Integration Services with me. Until next time, keep refining that.